The escalating tensions between China and Taiwan have captured international attention yet again, following China's recent live-fire military exercises dubbed Strait Thunder. These drills simulated targeted strikes on Taiwan's critical ports and energy infrastructure, signaling an alarming escalation in an already strained relationship. Historical context. The conflict between China and Taiwan dates back to 1949, following the Chinese Civil War when the defeated nationalist forces retreated to Taiwan and established their own government. China has since viewed Taiwan as a renegade province, determined to reunify it with the mainland, peacefully or otherwise. Taiwan, on the other hand, sees itself as a sovereign, democratic state with its own constitution, government, and military. Throughout decades, cross-strait relations have seen periods of warming and cooling. A significant thaw occurred during the late 1980s and early 1990s with increased economic and cultural exchanges. However, since Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen's election in 2016, who refuses to endorse Beijing's One China principle, relations have deteriorated sharply, prompting China to ramp up its military activities and diplomatic isolation of Taiwan. China's ambitions for Taiwan. China has made its intentions clear. Taiwan must eventually return to its control. Beijing has repeatedly refused to rule out military force if Taiwan ever formally declares independence or if peaceful unification efforts fail. Under President Xi Jinping's leadership, China has significantly boosted military spending and capabilities, conducting frequent military exercises around Taiwan as both a strategic demonstration and intimidation tactic. Recent Chinese policy emphasizes incremental pressure to normalize the idea of eventual reunification. Beijing uses military drills not only to prepare its armed forces for potential invasion scenarios, but also to psychologically impact Taiwan's citizens and leaders, hoping to erode their resistance over time. Taiwan's defensive strategy. Taiwan remains resolute in its opposition to Beijing's overtures. Its government consistently asserts its sovereignty, strengthened by widespread public opposition to reunification under China's Communist Party. In response to the persistent threat from the mainland, Taiwan has significantly modernized its military capabilities, investing heavily in advanced defense systems, missile technology, cyber defense, and surveillance capabilities. Taipei's strategy emphasizes asymmetric warfare, focusing on systems capable of inflicting high costs on an attacking force to deter potential Chinese aggression. Its ongoing military reforms aim to boost mobility, survivability, and rapid response capability, preparing Taiwanese forces for various contingencies, including amphibious invasions, blockades, and air attacks. International allies and support. Taiwan's defensive posture is bolstered significantly by support from key international allies, particularly the United States. The U.S. maintains a policy of strategic ambiguity, meaning it has not explicitly guaranteed intervention, but has consistently sold Taiwan advanced weapons systems and affirmed support for Taiwan's self-defense. Recent statements from the American administration reiterate a commitment to regional peace and stability, strongly implying U.S. readiness to respond if China attempts a forceful takeover. Additionally, other regional partners such as Japan, Australia, and various European nations have begun showing increased diplomatic and economic support for Taiwan, concerned by China's growing assertiveness and potential disruptions to global trade and regional stability. China's recent Strait Thunder drills. The recent Strait Thunder exercises conducted by China were particularly aggressive, involving live-fire drills simulating attacks on Taiwan's critical infrastructure. The People's Liberation Army, PLA, explicitly labeled these drills as warnings to Taiwan independent separatists, notably targeting Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te, who recently characterized China as a foreign hostile force. These exercises appear timed strategically following significant international diplomatic engagements involving Chinese President Xi Jinping. Moreover, propaganda released alongside these exercises reinforced Beijing's aggressive stance, explicitly aiming to intimidate and demoralize Taiwan's leadership and population. Future implications. Looking forward, the future remains uncertain and tense. China's military drills suggest an increasing readiness for aggressive actions and an attempt to desensitize the international community to frequent military operations around Taiwan. Taiwan, meanwhile, continuously adapts its defense capabilities, preparing for a wide range of scenarios and relying on growing international support. However, sustained tension carries risks of miscalculation and escalation. If neither side relents, a small provocation could rapidly spiral into conflict. Conversely, diplomatic avenues remain viable, though increasingly challenging given China's uncompromising stance. Ultimately, the future of China-Taiwan relations depends heavily on international dynamics, internal Taiwanese politics, and Chinese domestic and geopolitical strategies. For now, both sides remain entrenched, and the global community watches anxiously, knowing that peace across the Taiwan Strait remains fragile and increasingly uncertain.